What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today, my guest is a good friend of mine, Michael Atchison of the band Young Ghost. Man, and this is a great conversation, man. We talk about a lot of different things, but the main thing about this conversation that I love that we talked about was supporting our friends, man. And, my time in Jacksonville is something I hold very true and dear to my heart, man. So many good friends, so many good memories. And this is just another one of those conversations that I love to have, man. I've had Nick on the show. I've had Kyle on the show, man. And I'm so thankful and happy to have Mike on the show today, man. And like I say, man, I appreciate any of you guys who have listened to one show, who have supported the show, anybody who, is really just supporting me. I greatly appreciate it, man. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can keep this flow going for 2021, man. We recorded this show kind of late, man. We had some time disputes, man. We're both dads, man, and we work, we got life going on, but I'm glad that we got this conversation out. I'm thinking, man, we might need a sequel to this one because I feel like we had so much more to talk to Mike about, but sit back and enjoy this episode. And like I said, if you'd like to be a guest on my show or you have a podcast idea that I should be looking at, man, hit me up on Facebook and Instagram at Blue Presents a Podcast, on Twitter at Podcast of Blue. I usually am a little bit smoother with this, but I'm not today. And then also add me on Twitch at Hope_prevails_. Thank you guys and enjoy the show. But before we get started, listen to my man AJ Pelletier tell you why you should be listening to Season 2 of the Roads We Travel podcast.
Hey everyone, AJ Pelletier here, and I'm here to talk to you about my podcast, The Roads We've Traveled. It's a podcast where every week I talk to guests and friends from music, art, comedy, and more about their journeys through life, their struggles, their joys, and everything in between. You also get to know a little bit more about me and my journey as well. So if you like podcasts about good conversations about life, or maybe you're just looking to relate to somebody about some things you may be going through as well, then The Roads We've Traveled is the podcast for you. Subscribe to us today on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you guys get your podcasts from. Check us out and subscribe to us on YouTube. And check us out at Facebook.com/Roads We've Traveled Podcast. All right, everyone. Thanks.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today I am joined by an old friend, Michael Atchison of the band Young Ghost. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Oh, nothing.
How's it going, Blue?
It's going, man. We were just talking about dad life stuff. You know how it is.
Oh, man. Oh, lovely.
Nothing wrong with that, man. But I'm going to hit you like I hit everybody who comes on my show, man. What are your top 5 artists, man?
Ooh, I know this is coming. I've been listening to your other podcasts. By the way, you've been doing great, man. I love all the episodes.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I noticed you do this every episode, so I had a feeling this was coming. My musical range is so wide. It was really a hard question to think about. So I'm just gonna stick with like the genre we grew up with, metalcore.
Yeah, of course.
So I will say Architects being a number one.
Yep.
They're such like a big inspiration and motivation for Young Ghosts. So they're definitely number one. Under Oath, I'll probably put number 2 just because, growing up on that, it's kind of really what got me into like what I'm even doing now. Current bands I've been listening to, Crystal Lake. I am like so addicted to them.
Oh, yes.
Probably my favorite band right now. I just can't put them off repeat. Huge Issues fan. Okay. I don't know if you like them. A lot of people kind of, hit or miss with them, but they are such a big band for me. Sky on bass. I follow a lot of his stuff, and he's been a big motivation for me on bass and trying to like learn different things. And he's just so forward thinking with how he brings, bass guitar to metalcore. So
no, for sure.
And number 5, I don't know. I've really been loving that band Spirit Box so much right now.
Yeah. That's that song Constance. Yeah, that song
Yeah.
Constance has got me right now. I can't even let that one go. Like, that one is
Tearjerker.
just, whew. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
they're-
real, man.
Yeah, they're definitely the hype right now. So I mean, obviously, I like the hype. I'm loving it.
No, for sure. And Courtney's just an amazing vocalist, and that band is just amazing altogether. So now that I really think about it, besides you and a friend of mine's, Josh Stiles, you are the only person I've ever known who's pretty much stick to playing bass most of your life. So let's talk about how you got into playing bass.
Okay, so my path into bass guitar, so I met with my brother, and, and my brother and his neighbor he played guitar, my brother played drums, and I'll never forget the day they just be jamming out, and he's like, "Man, you should get a bass guitar. You could be in our band." And I don't give my brother enough credit for getting me into music and getting me into like where I'm at now, because
Shout out to James.
a lot of older brothers, especially 4 years older, when you're 16 and you're starting a band, you don't want your 12-year-old brother hanging around. And honestly, like I didn't know if they were joking or not, but I did. I went and I found a bass, I started playing, and they let me play with them, and it wasn't anything serious. It was just really goofy, wasn't good at all. We just jammed, but it was so much fun being able to like play with my my big brother, and he was he's awesome at drums, and yeah, so I really don't give him enough credit, but he brought me into that scenario. So then I did the whole thing. I got the bass. My mom got me in lessons, and then I started meeting kids at school. My buddy Wyatt Stenzel, Patrick Shoemaker.
Yep.
Just different friends at school find out that I play bass now, and they go, "Hey, man, start a band." So just garage days of just playing, trying to learn songs, trying to jam out with your friends. It just never ended 13 years later.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing for me,
15
man.
years later.
I don't know why, but music just always stays there. And even though I'm not technically in a band now, I'm still kind of sort of making music. You know what I'm saying? Just now it's on a more personal level. It's more personal, and hopefully in the next coming months I can release some stuff because I've upgraded some equipment. You know how it is, man. You start off with the small stuff, and then you kind of graduate to the big stuff. And me, I'm kind of graduating to the biggest stuff possible. But anyways, man, let's talk about your time, or, you becoming a member of Young Ghost. We've heard Kyle's side of the story, how it got started for Kyle. Let's hear your side and how that has led to where you guys are right now.
Of course. Yeah. So when I was younger, the only band that really had done anything cool or remotely cool, I was in a band called Sworn to Silence.
Yep.
And, we played some big shows, but it wasn't anything like, to gasp over. But that band, I was in a band with Wyatt Stenzel, who later started a band called I Am Seeker. So they had some issues with their bass player. He left, and then I joined. So that connection, I Am Seeker, kind of turned into Young Ghost. I know probably Kyle explained that a little bit. But that's really how it all started. Was Wyatt bringing me into I Am Seeker, which is kind of cool though, because anytime Young Ghost releases anything, or we play a show, Wyatt's always there, kind of like in the background, like cheering us on, and he almost feels like he's a little bit of the part of the aesthetic of the band.
Of course,
and I always connect with him and let him know what we're doing, because without him inviting me in to I Am Seeker, I would not have we just progressed differently. Like I don't think I would have. Like even like meeting Nick, I met Nick through him joining I Am Seeker. I knew him, we saw each other at shows and stuff, but we weren't friends by any means. So, just like the way the dice rolled, kind of led one thing to another, kind of worked out to where we're at now.
Yeah, man, and it's great to watch you guys do that. Even from Massachusetts, I'm not in Florida anymore, and I, always try to show you guys some love, man, because I love what you guys do. But that's cool to know that
Thanks, man.
You got a friend who still supported you and still supports you for what you guys are doing, man. And I think that's something a lot of people don't talk enough about, man. Is like, we have all these friends who have all these interests and stuff like that. And, we need a little support, you know what I'm saying? Every once
absolutely.
in a while, man. And we're lucky in Florida that we have that kind of support group. We have a pretty strong support group from Florida.
Absolutely. I'll always give credit where credit is due. And all my friends, man, like growing up, I don't really think I'm like the most talented dude or, but I have great friends, who bring me into things. And that's what I love being in a band for, is connecting and being social. That's like my thing. Mm-hmm. That's my talent, is making friends and being social. And it's really paid off for me, because I wouldn't be doing half the things that I get to do without, people around me. So,
what's actually interesting? I was waiting for this podcast to tell this story, but the first time I met you, Michael, right? It was, I can't remember who was playing, but I know it was at the Imperial, and all I remember was this little foot come flying at my face, and I ducked. I just remember I'm like, who the hell is this kid throwing his foot in my face?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I was always, I'm as wild as it comes, It's just in my blood. Same with my brother. Sure. We just like to, have fun.
Yes.
Nothing personal.
No, man. It was a weird introduction, and I think after if I'm remembering correctly, because it was so long ago, but I do remember you kind of coming up and be like, "Hey, man, you okay?" Kind of like, "Sorry about that," kind of deal, and then we just kind of like talked from there, and then I think I saw you like pretty much going forward. It was probably like you were at a show, staple people when you go to like. When I think back to that time with like the 2007, 2008, 2009 era of Jacksonville metalcore, hardcore scene, where it was just like
probably at Fuel,
the usual suspects, you'd always see, and you were always one of those people. And I remember back when I was, I think Beneath a Burning Sky, and we played with Sworn to Silence, man. That's a throwback for you right there.
Yeah, what a show. Do we need a reunion on that show or something?
We need I'm telling you right now, nobody, not even Younger Blue, is asking for a Beneath a Burning Sky reunion.
Goodness gracious. Nah, man. Good times.
No,
I miss those days, dude. I miss like those days, especially now, obviously with the pandemic going on. Of course, we miss shows and stuff like that. But yeah, there's something different about like. People who didn't grow up at Fuel or the Imperial, they just won't know.
Exactly.
They won't know they'll never know what it was like to like be at those shows and just have that crowd and just having that energy. Mm-hmm. Obviously we still have those shows. Archetype is, an awesome place. 1904 is an awesome place. We have those shows now. Just something different when it was, just smaller. Like you said, the same people.
Mm-hmm. Every show. Yeah. Like family. Like you were going to Sunday dinner, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's there.
You might not see them for 3 months, but you see them at another show. Like, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah. I remember the thing was everybody used to like, usually when they showed up to the show, it might have been in the middle of like the first band set. Somebody would just come bum rushing into the pit anyways, and then everybody would like dogpile on them, hug them, and shit like that. Like, ain't seen you in a while. Yeah, man, what's going on?
Right. Man, those were good days.
No, for real. Those are what definitely truly made me feel like Jacksonville was where I needed to be at that time, for sure. Right. So I think back to those times, man, people like you, and just, appreciate those moments even more. So, you brought it up, man, so I might as well ask it, man. You've got a family, I've got a family, man. How are you guys holding up in this, let's call it a dark time right now, this bad spot we're in?
COVID and 2020, it's been a crazy year. Yeah. So, my wife working from home, mm-hmm. We have 2 kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. So, obviously I'm not alone. I'm not the only, family man with 2 toddlers, but it's tough, when you got everyone getting sick and then having them, with her working from home, trying to find daycare and having people who, watching them, like my mother-in-law and my mom mm-hmm. are our primary caretakers. So mm-hmm. it's just rough having them. They're sick. They can't watch the kids. If we're sick, we can't take them over to watch the kids, so, and I still work, obviously outside of Young Ghost and anything else I do. I have a full-time job at Publix. So, constantly working around people, people in and out. So it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just like that kind of generic horror story where, you know, any day you walk out, you can come back sick, and it's not fun when you are going through all this, you know, pandemic stuff. So,
well, how do you think it's affecting, you know, Young Ghost? Because you guys did recently release a single, you know, and once again, another one of those songs that just, I don't know what it is about when you guys drop stuff, I get so excited just because it's just, for me, like, and you know, people can take it however. You guys are my best friends, and I absolutely love anything you guys put out. But for some reason, the last few songs, man, it sounds like you guys are finally coming into your own. How are you guys dealing with trying to put out music as well as dealing with COVID, you know, and the shitty spot we're all in right now?
Yeah. Well, obviously, you know, we've done like our fair share of like weekenders and, you know, smaller tours. I actually kind of feel like almost a little fortunate we weren't like further ahead where we want to be. You know, obviously we, you know, 2018, you know, we started like getting more traction, started touring a little bit more. Obviously we want to be like further. We want to start touring like all the time, nonstop.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think actually not being there actually was a little bit fortunate for us because, you know, we would have been like stepping into that area right when, you know, all tours and shows end. You know, I think that would have been a pretty bad spot for us to be in because we're not used to like touring full time. We're not used to like getting to that next level. So if we had done that right when COVID started,
probably would have hurt you guys.
That would have been a little messy.
Yeah.
So for us, you know, we weren't like, you know, always on tour. We play shows, we play weekenders. I definitely say we would like play shows on a regional level. So for us, we're you know, we're not like in a bad spot. And honestly, I think not having shows, we have really been successful at writing. This is the most successful I think we've ever been in the years of we've been a band at writing, and we're sitting on a lot of content right now. And I'm really excited for what we've been writing. So it's been really good.
No, for real, man. Yeah. And once again, you know, I think that there's so many of you guys in the band that have a similar mindset. So it seems like anytime you guys put out something, you guys always do it real big. And that's something that's super cool about what you guys do. You know, you guys may not be a signed band, but you guys make every release feel so epic, man.
Thank you.
You know, and it's once again, it's just positivity that you guys, you know, for me, you know, you guys are consistent in the department of just giving people exactly what I think I would want to hear in that style that you guys do. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man. So on top of that too, man, you know, you gotta, you know, besides being awesome at bass, you got the nerve to turn around and be great at taking photography too, man. So let's talk about this new photography venture you got going now, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I've actually been in love with photography for a long time. I think I was always like really nervous to get into it. And with COVID and with, you know, everything happening pandemic, I just said, screw it. You know, you can talk to my wife about the amount of times we go places. Like we travel a lot. I'm always like out of town. I'm always, you know, like we have Disney passes. We, you know, we're always like on cruises. It don't matter. We just love to be out. And the amount of times I would like look at something and go, man, like, wouldn't that make a really cool photo? Or man, wouldn't that make a really nice like landscape? Like I feel like I could just take a nice camera and get a really cool photo out of that. And it took so many times for her to just go, get a nice camera and start taking nice photos. You know,
she sounds like my wife when I started the whole podcasting thing. She was just like, shut the fuck up and just get the equipment.
Just do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you the specific day we were at Jenny Springs, and we were like in the main spring, and like everyone's like, you know, swimming. And I'm on like the rocks, just kind of like, really stoked that we're like outdoors. And
of course,
you know, and just like one of those nice summer days, I'm like, oh, this is great. And I look, and like the sunlight is coming out of the trees, like the water's like super blue. And of course, that was like the last time she was willing to hear me say that. And I was just like, look at this view. Wouldn't it make a great photo? And And actually, I really want to give a shout out to my friend Bailey, yeah, Nick Bailey's girlfriend. She actually was there that day, and she was like, "Oh, wow, you know, you're interested in photography," and she actually she hooked me up, and she helped me get like my starting equipment.
Yeah.
So she did, and like that's what's really cool about photography is I could just talk about it. I could just say that I wanted to do it, and everyone has been so supportive. Everyone is like so stoked that I'm, you know, getting into this field, and it really feels like it's been meant to be. You know, there's not a lot of things that I do that really just feel like I'm so drawn to it, but I just like really right now I just can't get enough of it. Yeah, so.
Yeah, man, and that's amazing feeling, especially when you're talking about support department, you know, and I feel that every day with people who listen to my show for any amount of time. If you listen to one or two shows, it's a great feeling when someone gives you a good response back and kind of like is super supportive, man. We need more of that, man, especially with as rough as the last, you know, year and some change now with dealing with what we're dealing with. We need some more positive, hey, man, go out there and give it a try, man. I definitely think, you know, I've seen some of what you did with Kyle and his soon to be wife. And I think it's fantastic that you're, you know, that we've got this circle of friends that you can come to and they can kind of lead you in a direction, man. So let's talk about something that some people may not know who listen to this podcast is, you know, a lot of people, you know, where I am in Massachusetts, you know, listen to my show, and I greatly appreciate those guys. And it's not to make anybody feel bad, but something about Jacksonville, Florida. What is it about the friendships that we've built over the years, man, where I mean, I've known you, you know, almost close to 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? You, Kyle, Nick, all those. What is it about the area that is just so supportive, so enveloping that everybody kind of looks out for each other?
I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, I'm from Miami, born and raised, and you know, I grew up there until I was like almost in my teens, and so I still have a lot of friends that I grew up with there that I get to call my friends. But yeah, you're right. It is like a different environment here in Jacksonville. It's a big city, but it's a small city at the same time. And I'm involved like in a lot of groups. Like, so like obviously like you have like shows and metalcore, but then I also have like skate friends that I grew up like skating with, and then I also have like, you know, like beach crew, like you know, like my circles are kind of, you know, out there. I have like, you know, a lot of different sets of friends, and in every field that I kind of put myself into, they're all the same, supportive. You know, everyone is there for each other, and it's just something in the air, I guess, man. It must be something that we're drinking. You know,
I don't know, man, but like I said, it's always that's why Jacksonville always. Even now, I think about how much I miss it and how much it feels like home. And, you know, I've been gone in March. It'll be 4 years since I was in, you know, Jayville. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it still holds tight to me. And hopefully, you know, with the way they are saying things going, fingers crossed, you know, this summer or maybe next summer, I'll finally get to come home to you guys and see you guys, and, you know, get to embrace everybody. You know what I'm saying, for a little bit. But no, it's just a beautiful thing, man, and I love it. Just like I said, Jacksonville, Florida will always be where I feel like I came into myself as a musician, as an artist, as a friend, hell, even as a father. You know, in some aspects, you know what I'm saying.
Right. I think also has to do a lot like with talent. You know, like Jacksonville has a lot of talent. So I think because there's a lot of talented people here, like, you know, especially like the places we hang out downtown, you know, Riverside. There's like a lot of people who just like want to see each other make it. You know, everyone wants to see each other like get to that next step of what they're talented in, what they're doing. You know, like, so I think that's also something that might be everywhere. We just don't know it. You know? Like
Maybe
little small areas of towns. You know, maybe you just haven't found it in Massachusetts yet. That little side of town where everyone supports each other.
I mean, I live in I kind of live in a small town that they really support, like, especially the kids and stuff like that. But like when we're talking about, like, you know, people probably more our age and stuff like that, you know, it's a little bit more difficult. I've actually found some small pockets in Connecticut and stuff like that, was where like I've been hanging out band wise and stuff like that. And it's no disrespect to Massachusetts. You're right. I may not just be looking in the right fucking place. You know what I'm saying? But it's just something about Jacksonville from the moment I stepped in 2006 where it just kind of embraced me, and that was so amazing to me, you know, and meeting all these great people. And like you said, there are a hella a hella amount of people here that have stupid crazy talents. To think about the people that I know from Florida that are doing bigger and better things, it's actually quite impressive, you know, when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Everything from music to movies to, you know, YouTube and other things that I've seen other people do. It's kind of fucking impressive, you know, when I think about it. You know?
Absolutely.
No, for sure, man. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at too. You know, I'm ready to like really just tap into like some of the stuff that I've been, you know, dreaming of. You know, that's like really where my brain's at right now. Like that's why I'm still in a band. You know, touring with Young Girls. Everyone asks like, well, you know, do you got kids? You got your job? You know, now you're trying to do photography. Now you want to do, you know, are you maybe spreading yourself too thin? Like I don't think so. You know, like I want to tap into all these things just because, you know, I mean, life is short, you know, like that's why everyone in this town, like Jacksonville people like move away, they come back. It's because like we all want the same goal, man. We all want to like live free. We all want to do the things that we're like, that's just like where my brain's been at. And it's actually been driving me crazy like lately. Just like I'm at an age and stage in my life where I'm just like, God, like I just want to create. I want to wake up and, you know, exist and be and do. And it's been driving me nuts.
Yeah, man. And especially now with the way the world is, man, it's almost, you know, we're sort of kind of at a standstill, but it, you know, it does seem like there are some little grains of light at the end of this tunnel. And hopefully when this, you know, when we tackle this thing finally, you know, we're all able to come together and create again. You know, it's kind of the reason, you know, I was kind of glad that I got into the whole podcasting space before the pandemic, but it's kind of put me on this path to meeting cool and interesting people and then reconnecting with friends like yourself again to remind me this is why I love Michael, man. You know what I'm saying? And you sound so passionate.
Thanks, bud.
And man, you know, we're both in different, you know, we're both in different areas, but we're at similar places in our life where we want to create, we want to grow further because like you said, man, life is short, man, you know, and we have the blessing of having great women in our life. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
I'm going to hit you with that question. So, you know what I'm saying? What is it about your wife that, you know, helps you make you feel like you can keep going further and further? You know, is it the support? Is it the, you know, open lines of conversation between each other where you can kind of feel like you can talk to her, you know?
Yeah. 100%. My wife is like easily the most supportive person I've ever come across, ever met. I mean, we've been together forever. So that really obviously sets the precedent. You know, we high school sweethearts, obviously. You knew that. We've been dating since 2004, and we got married in 2013. You know, so we have a long path behind us. So for her, it's like a no-brainer. You know, like it's you know, she was there. Like we literally started dating a year after I picked up the bass. You know, like she's been with me along for the whole ride. So you know, when I come to her saying, "Hey, you know, we have a 4-5 day weekender," she's like, "All right, you know, have a good one. You know, send me pics. You know, hey, I know I've been working since 6 a.m. I just got off at 4. I got a photo shoot. Hey, have a great time. You know, let me know if you need anything." So she is just beyond supportive, and without her, honestly, I couldn't do half the things I would do. You know, if I had kids or it didn't matter, like she's there. So, big shout out to Stephanie, my wife, Stephanie Atchison. She's amazing.
Yeah, man. And that's the luck that we have, man. Like I said, it's a very similar situation with my wife. You know, we talk through things, you know, and then, you know, there's those times where you got to be like, hey, man, you know, it's her time right now. You know, we're going to make it about her and stuff like that. But, you know, I've been blessed and lucky that my wife has just been extremely supportive, especially of this endeavor right here, man, because this is a lot of time, man, you know, sitting here and editing and stuff like that. But I enjoy it. My wife loves the feeling of me just kind of getting excited. And, you know, a couple weeks ago, I got to meet somebody very special to me, you know, and, you know, like I said, man, it's this beautiful thing of life where, you know, like you said, you feel like you're in the right place and you feel like people are giving you the best advice to keep you motivated and keep going, man. And I think that's awesome, man. So, you know, 2 more things before we get out of here, man, before we wrap this up, man.
Right.
I want to talk about your mom, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that
wow.
you and your mother have done, you know, a couple of 5Ks and stuff like that. And doing that, you know, talk a little bit about your mother, talk about why you're doing those things and what those things mean to you, man.
Okay. So in 2008, my mom had a huge stroke, kind of, you know, changed her whole life.
Yeah.
She was in a coma for months. She came out, was in rehab, went to a nursing home. Yeah, like she was a completely different person. But up until now, I mean, it's taken 10 years, 12 years, but, you know, that miracle of her recovering, you know, fully. So she is great. She's doing good. And so when I was younger, my mom was an aerobics instructor, and she is just like unstoppable. She's a rock, you know.
Yeah, of course.
There's no stopping her. So for her being an aerobics instructor and her coming back to like full health, like running is in our blood. Yeah, I grew up. I played soccer. I ran track.
Okay.
I did cross country. All kind of following my mom's like athletic suit, and that the running is just like it's just our thing, you know. So and actually, you said a couple 5Ks. We actually ran a marathon last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So and that's what's so crazy is we did a marathon, 26.2 miles. Mile 14, my disabled mother, like she left me in the dust. You know,
smoked him.
We're here together on this thing, you know, and this was like a big moment for both of us. You know, she recovered so much, and even for me being like an athlete growing up, and you know, like me gaining weight, and I trying to lose weight, trying to get back into that person that I was athletically, and yeah, I mean, she just about mile 14, I said, "Mom, I can't keep up." You know, I was like, I'll slow down, I'll catch up with you. Yeah, about like mile 18, I see her wrapping back around, so I'm not catching back up with her. I'm not gonna make it.
No, but that's amazing. That's something. It seems like it's something that's bonded you guys together. You know, having that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was tough. I mean, I had just graduated high school. So school was done, but I hadn't even walked yet.
Yeah. And
she kind of had the stroke like in between that little area of my life where you know I'm supposed to be moving like into college. I'm supposed to be like going onto like these like adulthood things, and I just got kind of dumped with a pretty big
task.
You know.
Yeah.
Pretty big curveball.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't change. I mean, obviously, I would change. Obviously, absolutely, I would change the fact that she had the stroke, of course. But I wouldn't change the fact that I was there for her, and I would never change the fact that we went through as like a team. Me and my mom. You know, I was a mama's boy before that, and so you know, I'm not going to deny that. And now after that, it's really been, you know, and again, just like what we're talking about earlier about following your talents and following your life, you just never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like you never know if you're going to wake up the next day. And I just don't want to like live my life. And her going through what she went through really helped me see that. As I don't want to go through life not accomplishing my goals and my dreams when we don't know if, you know, we have the time to do so. You know?
Yeah, man. You just hit me right in the chest right there with that one, man. For real. Like, whew, yeah, yeah. No,
sorry, man.
That's perfect.
I didn't mean to do it to you.
No, that's perfect, man. I mean, at this point, let's just end the show because there's nothing you can do after that. No, I mean, it's just a perfect point, man. It's just like I said, something about Jacksonville, Florida, that brings these really unique people, and you know, that's so amazing that this crazy situation that probably I'm sure you were stressed out, you were scared, you didn't know what was going to happen, and in all in turn, it actually just gave you a moment to have a stronger bond with your mother, man.
Yeah, but then again, just like we said earlier in the episode, you know, support. You know, like when she went through that, I had so much support. Like my friends were there for me. You know, people from shows. You know, people from all over hardcore like were there to help, and you know, like those people, like, you know, even like giving me money. Like I didn't like want that, but you know, people just did whatever they could. Rides, you know, phone calls, texts, emails, just anything they could show support with, and you know, that made a big difference, of course, you know. So
yeah, man. Well,
like it's
easy to, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say it's easy to go through things, you know, alone, but it's so much easier when you have people to go through it with. So
no, yeah, for sure, man, and that's awesome, man, and I'm like so happy, man, and it's good, man, and I'm happy to see you and your family going together, man, and you guys becoming a strong family and stuff like that, man. It's you know, just watching you guys from a distance, it's a beautiful thing, man. And
thank you, man.
If anything, man, you know, I'm letting you know somebody's proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you hear that all the time, man. Somebody's proud of you, bro. And I love you guys.
That's all I want to do is make people proud, man. You know?
Yeah, man.
Well, and that's actually been a big thing for me is I'm always like trying to like make sure like I have like a problem like trying to impress people or trying to make people like see like what I see in myself. But I actually think this is the year that I stopped caring about like what people think. You know?
Of course.
I've done that for a long time. Like even like we talk about photography or we talk about like other things that I want to do. I sometimes like hold back because I don't know if like, you know, maybe I don't belong in this field, you know, like with music and with Young Ghost, like it's so comfortable. I could do it. I could brag about it. I could talk about it. Like, hey guys, check out my music video. Hey guys, check out this new thing that we just released. But with photography, it felt a little bit more intimidating because it just wasn't something that I was used to doing. I know other photographers and I'm almost like posting stuff with like them in mind going, ooh, I wonder if this photographer is going to think this looks bad.
Exactly.
You know? You know, because you'll have like a bunch of people saying, "Oh, this looks great," but then the people who actually like know what it's supposed to look like might not think that. So you know, I would go through those kind of phases, going, "Ooh, like I hope they don't think." But then I just said, "No, fuck that. Why do I care what they think?" You know?
Exactly. As long as you're happy with what the end result is.
Yeah, and I mean, even if I'm not happy, like at the end result, it's still my process to decide, you know, not theirs.
No, for sure, man.
Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah, man. So, you know, first off, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. And real quick before we get out of here, do you have a photography social media you want to plug or anything like that? You got anything coming up soon? People can reach out to you for some photos? Absolutely.
Yeah. So my handle on Instagram is @MikeyAlive. And I think I'm going to keep that for like all of my photography. So it's going to be Mikey Alive Photo on Instagram. Okay. And then I'm actually in the process right now of putting out a full website.
Oh, that's what's up, man, for sure. Yep. And if you guys haven't checked out Young Ghosts, please go check them out on Instagram, Facebook. And I believe you guys have a Twitter, but Kyle told me one time he didn't even know that thing existed.
Yeah, I actually was the one to start that, and I just kind of dropped the ball on that.
Oh, no worries, man. But Mikey, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you, brother. It's good to talk to you. We're going to have to catch up sometime offline for sure, man. All right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man.